Hello again, and welcome to another episode, ladies and gentlemen, of Banish the Doubt. Today, I want to continue this series of creating who we are, changing this image. Change this, and everything in your life changes. And that is this image you have of yourself right now. I want to start off by a quote from Earl Nightingale. He said, all kinds of studies have been made regarding motivation. What is it that motivates us to do the things that we do, to achieve the things that we achieve? While there is no real answer to such a large and complicated question, we believe that the overriding force that motivates people is due to choice of environment. Some people make their choice consciously, but a great majority of us make our choices unconsciously as a result of environmental conditions. You, ladies and gentlemen, watching this, write this down. In fact, when you watch my videos, just have a little notepad and a pen handy because you're going to want to jot down things from time to time. And here's one of the most important quotes that I've ever heard, and I apply it to my life all the time. You will never, ever outperform the image you have of yourself. Let me say that again. You will never, ever outperform the image you have of yourself. You see, we don't attract into our lives what we want. We attract into our lives who we are. And who we are is nothing more than the beliefs that we carry around about who we are and what we are capable of doing. So, question then comes up, where do we get these beliefs? It is from you may have, some of you watching this, watch any of my other videos, you may have heard this before, but it's worth repeating, as they say. Here is our subconscious, and these dots up here represent our conscious mind that has yet to be formed. And up here, I'm going to put 3T to 7, 3T to 7 years. Excuse me, still dealing with these allergies. 3T to 7 years. What does that represent? 3T is third trimester. And the third trimester is when our brain turns on in the womb. But what was it like in the womb for a lot of people? Of course, we don't remember this because we weren't really, our conscious mind wasn't developed, so we weren't conscious of what was taking place. To prove my point, try to recall something that happened when you were 1 year old that you remember, or when you were less than one, or you're younger than one. We can't because our conscious mind, we were not conscious, but our subconscious was formed. So, however mom and dad talked to each other, whatever mom and dad talked about, they talk about the neighbors, they talk about other family members. Did they gossip a lot? Okay, what was their relationship? Okay, what was mom and dad's relationship with each other? See, all that energy was being put into your subconscious, our subconscious mind. Just like this computer. These were the programs being sent into our subconscious mind. We weren't aware because our conscious mind had not been developed yet. But our subconscious, okay, the the bricks, if you will, okay, each one of these represents a thought or a an image or a program that starts to build our foundation. Okay, so this is the foundation that our life was built on. Was there substance abuse during these times? Was there a lot of anger, frustration? Was what were okay? Here's another one. What were what were the conversations like regarding money? Was there money? Was there a lot of strife? Was there a lot of more month at the end of the money? Or was there a lot of money? And was there foundation of plenty? What were the conversations about money? What were the conversations about people who have money or had money, right? What were the same conversations? What was it about religion? Did you go to church? Did they bring you to church? Were you around that environment? Was there a lot of myself being brought up as an Irish Catholic? Was there a lot of guilt, a lot of fear, a lot of um, thoughts of we're sinners? The meek shall inherit the earth. These are all the conversations. This is everything that was downloaded into our subconscious mind. It's who we are at our foundation, at our core. So again, we don't attract into our lives what we want. We attract who who we are. Who is this person? Because if you have a excuse me, a programming, a foundation of, well, the rich are over there. We're not like them. Those are the rich who, now notice, bring it to current day. What's the conversation around money? People who have money, right? What's the big slogan? The rich what? The rich people what? Don't pay their fair share. So if you tell a child, or if mom and dad are coming home and they're having these kinds of conversations, well, the rich are looked at as those mean, evil people. They don't. Mom and dad have to suffer because they're not what? Paying their fair share. You notice the mind trance that they're putting on society. So this is again. So we attract who we are, not what we want. And who we are is nothing more than the beliefs that we carry about who we are and what we're capable of doing. So understand that if you're dealing with a situation where, and think about this, something else to consider or to think about. Relationships. People bring, they see each other and physically they get very attracted to each other, right? On the outside. And they fall in love or fall in lust. And they have this great romance. But what happens is this programming right here, okay, 3T, trimester to 7 years, this programming is brought into the relationship. You move in together, you get married, and suddenly the guy or the girl, all that stuff they're bringing with them from their childhood, because if we think about this, if we think about it this way, I'm going to draw. Here is a person, okay, coming from here, and they have. I'm not the world's greatest uh, artist by any stretch, but that's a bag that this person is carrying, and inside this bag are all these little bricks. And these bricks represent all the programming, all the thoughts, all of the programming, that's the best way to put it, that has been downloaded into us that we're carrying around. ladies and gentlemen, oftentimes these bricks that we're carrying around are not ours. We don't belong. They don't belong to us. They're our parents and our grandparents, and ancestrally going back. That's just been downloaded. Okay, pushed, downloaded program from generation to generation to generation. Now, you're drawn to this video, you're watching this is because on a certain level you're like, saying something's got to change. I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled, whatever it may be. But understand this: you, the person bringing this, they bring this, okay, to the church, right? We get married, right? And then we have, here we are. We leave the church. We got married, right? Yay, everybody's happy. We're happy. Woo, yay, we're having a nice little honeymoon. Everything is just wonderful. Everything's wonderful. The honeymoon is wonderful. And those two people will bring all of their programming with them into this marriage. And then what happens? Okay, suddenly the real person, the person who we are, not what we want, we attract who we are, is brought into this marriage. And then all of this is downloaded into the child that they have. This is what's illustrative of this is the fact that you're hearing in the news more and more, whatever generation this may be, Z or X or whatever heck it is, you hear in the news they're not having as many children. They're waiting till they get older to get married. Well, why in the hell not? Would they expect not to? This is what's going on. Okay, they're seeing the dysfunction. I'm not saying every single family, but a damn large majority of coming up through this. They're not happy. We're being seduced, and I like to say it's like, if I control this, a depiction of, well, yeah, no, I can't. Just think of it as a mouse, okay? And you and I are a mice. We're a mouse, and society says, here you go. What's this? I'm going to throw some cheese at you. And what's the cheese? The cheese is for you to get fattened up on. What is it? It's social media. It's the things you see in the news, the music you listen to. It's all the societal crap, right? And we eat this. It's like a sugar rush, right? And we don't understand that at the same time this is happening, you hear these. What's that sound? Oh, that's the sound of the wall closing behind you. What do you mean the wall? Well, that's your mouse is being trapped, because later on you realize, well, now I'm in my 30s, my 40s, and holy crap, I'm looking at my life and haven't gone anywhere. Nothing's really happening. This is why. Because it's not what we want that we attract, it's who we are that we attract. So your reality, you watching this, is different than my reality. If you want to change, okay, if you want to change this image you have of yourself, I want you to first think of all the people you associate with. Okay, start thinking of them, your friends, your family, okay, coworkers, type of job you have. Now I want you to think of this. I want you to think of the money. How much money? What's the average income of the people you're thinking about? The people you spend the majority of your time with. Now I want you to think of the same people that you spend the majority of your time with. What do they talk about? Do they have visions for the future? Do they? Or are they just kind of like going through life on this hamster wheel? Because I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, if after watching this video, if you do not, and I'm going to explain this to you here in a second, wake up tomorrow morning, if you do not wake up tomorrow morning with a vision for your future, okay, you're going to be left with this life. Okay. Circle. And what that is, that's yesterday. And that's the day before yesterday. And the day before that. And the day before that. And I can take you right back 10 years, 15 years. Now, but by the time you and I are age 35, and I'm beyond that, but if you're watching this or you're younger than 35, we are a memorized set of emotional reactions, hardwired. I just talked about the programming, right? So, hardwired beliefs, attitudes, and perceptions. How do I perceive my life? Okay. How do I react to things? This is why we end up saying things like, I don't understand why I said that. I don't understand why I reacted that way. It's hardwired into you. It's been hardwired into you since you were what? Third trimester through age 7. That is when our conscious mind starts to develop. From age 7 on, we start downloading our own program. What? By the way we think, by the way we act towards other people, the friends that we associate with, that we are attracted to. So going back to your group, your environment, right? What did Earl Nightingale say? He said, "We believe that the overriding force that motivates people is due to choice, choice of environment. You're choosing your environment. Some people make it consciously. From today on, you're watching this video. It's up to you to make this choice consciously. The majority, however, make it unconsciously because of the programming I just talked about. Okay? And they're made unconsciously as a result of their their environmental conditions, where you grew up, who were your parents, who was your family, what school did you go to? Did your parents even go to college? Is there a doctor in your family, or is there a CEO in your family? Is there a president of a corporation in your family? Is there a millionaire in your family? You watching this right now, you can be the CEO, you can be the millionaire, you can be the president of the corporation. From this video on, you decide, you make that conscious decision to start to change this vision, this image you have of yourself. One of the ways we can start to correct this vision, this image we have of ourselves, is the environment we choose to get around. There's a reason why, ladies and gentlemen, you'll never see the CEO of a corporation hanging around at a party with the janitor. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the janitor, but the janitor is here and the CEO is up here vibrationally, environmentally, who they choose to hang around with, how they think, what they think about. When they wake up in the morning, what are they thinking about? Are they forward thinking, or are they part of that hamster wheel I just showed you? Is it time for you in your life to get off the hamster wheel? That's your decision. That's your choice you have to make. It's yours and yours alone. I'm here to talk with you about how, if you want to choose, if you're making that choice to get off this hamster wheel tonight, right here, right now, in this video, you can choose right now in this video what you're consciously thinking of. What are you thinking of right now? Can you see yourself as a person who is a millionaire? If you can't, that's okay. Can you see yourself as a person who's maybe generating an extra $10,000 or $15,000 in income for the rest of this year going into next year? We're now almost halfway through 2025. What is 2026 going to look like? Okay. Are you going to wake up tomorrow with a vision for your future? One of the exercises may want to incorporate, okay, is getting a book, getting a notepad, okay, whatever anyone will do, any kind of a notepad. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, or you want to do this tonight before you go to bed, one of the best times, my personal feeling is the two most important points in any one of our day is at the end of our day and the beginning of our day. I like to call them the bookends of our day. When we wake up in the morning and we go to bed at night, scientifically it's been proven that when we are going to sleep, okay, we're getting into that state where we're not quite falling asleep, we're not quite asleep yet, and we're not quite still awake. We're in what's called theta. Our brain is in a theta state. That's when our thoughts go straight into straight into our subconscious mind. So when you're going to sleep, when you're kind of drifting off, you may want to take an exercise and have a notepad next to you. Start to write down who you want to be, who you are, because you don't want to be anybody. You are that person now. Start to write in the form of I am. Right, this kind of represents the line, the space next to that. I am whatever it is you who you want to be. A millionaire. In a relationship, a better relationship. Maybe you're in a relationship right now because of your upbringing is a little toxic, dysfunctional. You're no longer that person. You're out. You see yourself in a healthier relationship. I am surrounding myself with like-minded people. Watching George here and my Banish the Doubt video, and I'm going to start watching other videos like this. I'm going to subscribe to his channel. I may even join his and become a member of his channel. I may even look into coaching with him if he happens to offer coaching, which I'm going to start offering coaching. I'm going to consciously get myself around people who have this type of thinking. I want to link myself up with those types of people. And while I'm doing this, I am at the same time decoupling myself, releasing myself from my past. Okay, all the stuff that we talked about here in the bag that is not ours. It's been given to us unconsciously, given to us by our parents and others around us that didn't understand it anymore. Okay, I'm going to start to incorporate this type of thinking. Now, that's when we go to sleep at night. So here we are. Okay, we recognize where we're at. We recognize the programming that has taken place in our minds. We're recognizing the environment is very crucial to who we are, not what we want, but it's who we are. Okay, and we start to decouple ourselves from that. So here we are at the end of our day. Now, tomorrow morning when we wake up, we're going to take the same notepad out and we're going to sit down quietly somewhere by ourselves. So if it means getting up earlier in the morning, then that's a discipline you want to start to incorporate into your life. And you're going to start to write down. Don't worry about penmanship. Don't worry about language. Don't worry about spelling or any of that. But you're going to start to write down, what does a person who is a healthier person, a person who has this type of a vision for themselves, what is a person who is a CEO or a president of a corporation or a top selling sales agent or a person in a healthy relationship? What does that person look like? How do they act? How do they dress? How do they speak? How do they carry themselves? Write all that down. I am now in a healthier relationship. I am now with the boy, the guy or my girl of whatever who do they look like? Okay, what is a healthy person? Emotionally speaking, what do they look like? And that you want to attract that type of a person to you. You will attract that type of a person to you, ladies and gentlemen, when you embody and become that person. It's a law. There's no way you can attract that type of a person or that type of income or generate that type of money to you without you first being that first. You have to become the magnet first before you can attract like magnets to you. So this is where we're at. We go to bed tonight. We start to incorporate these types of beliefs. We start to write this stuff down. We start to journal. Okay, we want to get around in an environment, and by that I mean in our own apartment or house or whatever. And if you are alone, if you're single, then great, you're by yourself. Get away from the TV, get away from all the crap that's on there. I'm not saying you can't watch it, but just understand, like a substance, like a drug, that is almost like a drug. The adrenaline rush we get from life like that is literally the drug that we get addicted to. We get addicted to that rush. We want to almost like a fire. You make a fire in a campsite or in a fireplace. You make it nice and warm. You can enjoy it, but you also understand that put too many logs on there and it could easily get out of control. Just like that stuff. You can watch these things on TV or you could read about whatever or social media, but understand you just do it in moderation. I will tell you, the more you incorporate this type of thinking that we're talking about tonight and this journaling, the less you're going to almost wean yourself off of it. Again, it's like a drug. The less you're around it, the less your body craves it. The less your body craves it, the healthier your body becomes. You're going to start noticing you're going to be eating better. You're going to start paying attention to the type of food you put inside your system. Something else you may want to write down. How does a healthier person, healthier and emotionally speaking, how do they look? What kind of food do they eat? Where do they go to eat? What kind of people do they associate themselves with? These are all the things you want to start to pay attention to, and you want to start to see yourself as that type of person. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how we start to change the self-image of ourselves, how to change the conversations we have with ourself. When you look in the mirror, okay, when you're brushing your teeth, combing your hair, whatever it may be, you tell that person how that person is now. You tell that person how much you appreciate them and how healthy they are becoming. You tell that person how deserving they are of all the good things in life, how deserving they are to be in a healthier relationship, how deserving they are to be the CEO of the corporation, to be an entrepreneur, how deserving they are, and how you approve of yourself and you love yourself. These are all the things we do, ladies and gentlemen, to change this self-image within ourselves. You do this, you start to do this, I promise you, your life is going to change on 180 degrees and quite quickly, I might add as well. Okay, so that's where we're at. Guys, if you like this video and you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You can go back in and look at my library of the videos I've made prior to this. If you like what you saw tonight, give it a thumbs up. Most importantly, leave a comment down below. Let me know how this video has helped you and maybe some areas in your life that you're going to start focusing on that maybe you weren't thinking about prior to this video. And also, do me a favor. If you like everything, please share it, because these are the types of videos, ladies and gentlemen, that as we get out into the world, okay, we are changing this world. We are changing it one video at a time, one view at a time. Thank you again so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless, and I will see you again soon.